हेलो एंड वेलकम टू द न्यू एपिसोड ऑफ जॉय रेवोल्यूशन। आज हमारे साथ एक बहुत ही स्पेशल मेहमान है, वो है मेरी फ्रेंड प्रोमा। प्रोमा से मैं मिली थी एक्स पे, एक्स इज ट्विटर। एंड ये बात है आई थिंक 2020 की, जब हम लोग एक दूसरे से इंटरेक्ट करना शुरू किए थे। एंड वन थिंग दैट आई ऑलवेज लव्ड अबाउट प्रोमा इज द वे शी स्पीक्स। आई थिंक इतना मीठा बोलती है कि एकदम ऐसा लगता है मिष्टी दो ही है। And something about Proma, she's a marketer. She is a tarot card reader. She is a wife, a mom. एंड प्रोमा की खुद की वेबसाइट है डिजीविच, जहां पे प्रोमा बहुत सारी बातें बताती है अबाउट मार्केटिंग। शी कंसल्ट्स पीपल ऑन मार्केटिंग, शी कंसल्ट्स ब्रांड्स ऑन मार्केटिंग। सो इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इन नोइंग अबाउट प्रोमा एंड ऑल्सो गेटिंग दैट मार्केटिंग टिप्स फ्रॉम हर, please do reach out to her. Hi Proma,
Hi, Madhur.
how are you?
Doing good. Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
इट्स बिन रियली रियली लॉन्ग। आई थिंक 2 साल बाद हम मिल रहे हैं और वो भी
Yes.
वर्चुअली।
Yes, it has been long.
सो आई हैव बिन ऑलवेज वेरी इंस्पायर्ड बाय यू। जैसे मैंने अपने इंट्रोडक्शन में भी बोला, आई लव द वे यू टॉक। एकदम इतना प्यारा बोलते हो आप। एंड एक कंसल्टेंट के नाते आप, आई थिंक यू पुट द पॉइंट फोर्थ across, and for a woman I think that is a very very plus point. Uh, Tell me, how did you get into this field of marketing?
Sure. Okay, that has been quite a journey for me. Uh, I I did have marketing as a minor in my MBA, but I've been a finance student through and through my life. But first year जो मेरा campus placement हुआ Deloitte में, I worked as a tax consultant for the US. That was the first year I realized that हाँ finance पढ़ने में मजा आता है, but करने में नहीं, not as
Same,
a job.
same.
Yeah. And then उसके बाद, it so happened that, I went into public relations and then into writing. And I had already been writing while I was in doing my MBA. तो मैं ऑलरेडी कंटेंट राइटिंग करना शुरू कर दिया था मैंने एंड दिस वाज बैक इन 2008 एंड that helped me get into marketing very easily because I started ghostwriting for major finance publications given my finance background and love for writing and उससे ही धीरे धीरे मैं marketing में आ गई so by 2012 I had made that formal transition.
So if I have understood correctly, you were in proper corporate job and then you shifted towards marketing. So ये shift जब हुआ, how much ready were you mentally to for that shift?
Uh, okay. So basically, from Deloitte, which is like it's like a big four corporate, to work in agencies, which are not as, uh, they're not as structured, and definitely not a marketing agency. That's the last thing you can
True, true.
expect is a
Yeah.
structured marketing agency. So yes, the flow was a bit different, and I'm a very structured person, but it was a good learning because life, which I found out later, is not, exactly what you have planned, and that is how it works. So that has been a good learning. It took me time, but I learned the ways of an agency, and now I have been running an agency for 8 years. So yeah, not easy, but manageable.
बट वाज इट डिफिकल्ट? क्योंकि जैसे मेरे लिए आज भी एक प्रेशर है, टू लीव अ जॉब, बिकॉज एक आदत पड़ जाती है ऑफ दैट फिक्स सैलरी दैट कम्स टू योर
Yeah.
बैंक अकाउंट.
Hmm.
So that is something that I'm not able to let go of, honestly.
Yeah,
How okay were you to let go of that?
that's a great question, actually. And trust you to bring in all the great questions. Okay, so yeah, I mean, so there are two different things. Like, for example, when you are talking about this letting go of your fixed salary to go into business, the one thing that I tell all my clients, so I'm also a business coach, I help people make this transition from corporate to consulting. And I always tell them it is not necessary that you leave your you leave your corporate job and then go into business. So what it takes is a lot of time management. It's a skill, you learn it, and you don't need to give all your time to business to make it grow. Okay. So it will need that time, but once it has got the foundation done. So, for example, if you're starting a business, you need to know what niche you're going into, who is your target audience, the brand, the positioning. Now, these things you can easily do while running your, doing your 9 to 5, right? You don't need to leave that. But right at the same time, you're growing the foundation of your business. And then when the time is right, or if it is needed, because you have created the foundation and it's strong and in place, you make the jump. Because you know, okay, now I have 5 clients, but I know how to get 10 more. That's when you do the jump. Okay. So it is not mutually exclusive. It can work parallelly. And that is basically what I teach in my other business, which is Mind Your Business. So yeah, that. And when it came to me, I was actually working with a media house in Bangalore when I was expecting my son. And this media house, it was a small one, mostly, run by a woman, mostly employed a lot of women. Okay. And it was I loved working there. Okay. So when I found out that I was expecting, I spoke to the founder, CEO, and I told her, and I also told her that I will not be taking the maternity leave because, yes, I told her I won't be taking the maternity leave, and that's why I wanted to quit. The reason being, I did not want them to put that 6 month expense because I just didn't want to, because that's a huge amount without my productivity going into, the company growing. So I did that and they appreciated that. And they told me, since we can't let you go, you're really important to us. Why don't you freelance? Just take up whatever you can, whatever you want to do. And so that is how I started freelancing during the time, when I was expecting. And once my son was born, I uh, I was of course with him like 24/7 for the 5 6 months initially. I'm a workaholic, so I needed to get back to work. And while the freelancing was going on, a lot of my friends started, you know, uh, sending people in, a lot of entrepreneurs who wanted content work done. I don't say no to work. That time I did not. And that's when, I started taking in more and more work, and it became such. I got a huge, project from one of the leading tech companies in India, and they wanted an agency and not a freelancer. And that's how DigiWitch was born. And that was my transition from corporate to motherhood to agency, my own agency.
How old was your son by then when you founded Digivich?
He was 6 months old.
So, how difficult or easy was it to balance both? Because you started an agency at a time when your son was also born. So, कितना difficult था आपके लिए वो manage करना? Because बहुत difficult होता है यार.
बहुत
कैसे
डिफिकल्ट होता है.
कैसे किया आपने?
And on top of that, I used to be a very hands-on mom, a very uh, hands-on mom, as in मुझे सब कुछ खुद करना होता था अपने बेटे के लिए. So सब मुझे बोलते थे, take a step back, just chill for a moment. uh, because I used to be that controlling person, जिसको सब पता होना चाहिए, everything, everything. And time wise, so alarm बजता था हर चीज के लिए, उसके इसका टाइम हो गया, उसका टाइम हो गया. So that is why I say time management is very, very important for any person. And that is one thing I would say, a superpower I had since I was a little child. I don't know how, but I did things like that in blocks of time. You would know that, when you have kids and babies, they wake up so many times at night. So I thought, instead of like waking up every time, and if you wake up in like half an hour, 1 hour period, you get more angry and frustrated. So I thought, why not just stay awake? Okay. Yes. I used to stay awake throughout the nights. The first DigiRich website I created back in 2008, I created in one night and published it in one night. Yes. And then I started networking. And since that was the time when the people in the US would be awake, I started growing my network in the US, which brought in my next set of clients from the US because earlier I just had Indian clients. So, yes, I would sleep very less, but that is something I will not recommend to anyone because I bore the brunt of it in the form of health repercussions later on. Uh, but definitely, I would say that if you can, then work in blocks, manage your time well.
So, and were there also phases where mom guilt would come up? Because I'm not able to give that time to my son. जैसे uh, कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट मीटिंग चल रही है और मेरे बेटे को मेरी जरूरत है, तब ऐसी फेजेस भी आते थे आपके साथ?
Um, so, हाँ, हाँ आते थे. Initially I would be like, of course, try to be very professional कि ठीक है, I have to keep my son away. Meetings used to be like very short, not very long. But कभी कभी वो आ जाता था, मे बी अपने वॉकर में ऐसे ऐसे, मतलब आ ही जाएगा, right? He's a baby and he wants mom's attention. So the next thing that I started doing was I used to let clients know on the onboarding calls itself that I'm a mom to a toddler, and he will make appearances. He will come in to say hi. Okay, and and they were mentally prepared. So the idea is to let people know what you need. They should tell you what they need. You should say what you need. For me, I needed them to be okay with the fact that my toddler will make an appearance from time to time. And if he cries, I need to go or something of that sort. But many a times it wouldn't be the case because if he's sitting on my lap and I'm having the meeting, he would be fine, right? Because he's already with me. And yeah, I mean, this is something that in India it took some time because it's not that this thing. But in the US, they were like, yeah, it's okay because the cats, dogs, babies, they just keep on making appearances.
So, Proma, what I've understood about you and in this conversation, key being a mother, being a mom, being a woman, and also running your agency, there were too many responsibilities at one point of time. Uh, and you also mentioned कि आपकी physical health पे बहुत फर्क पड़ा. How much did it affect Proma mentally? Mentally, Proma को क्या फर्क हुआ इससे?
Many a times mentally हमें ना पता भी नहीं चलता है कि क्या हो रहा है. So the first thing that when you are in a place where you're not comfortable, your body is the first one to give you signals. And it starts with headaches, it will come with as body aches. So that's the first level. तो जिसके लिए हम क्या करते हैं, we take paracetamols, we just put some pain sprays and stuff
हो
like that,
जाते
and
हैं,
we try
चाय पी
to
लेते हैं. Yeah.
yeah, we try to suppress symptoms, right? But we do not actually look at the main cause that is actually causing it, right? So, like fever is a symptom. It's not the
The
disease,
real
it's the
cause.
symptom.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like that, धीरे धीरे क्या होता है ना, mental health में जैसे मैंने बोला, I was sleep deprived and I thought I'm okay with it. The biggest thing that happened, it started happening at the mental level, was the brain fog, uh, not being able to remember things. Whereas, people tell me that I have a memory of an elephant. I'll remember things from God knows when in little bits of information. So I started, forgetting things or getting very clouded in my work itself. Like, likhte likhte, I would forget, Arey, what was I writing about? Okay. That was the first level. The next one was irritation. Okay, and that anger coming out on people who literally did not deserve it. And you see it, but you don't know what's happening, right? So that is the time when you need to start focusing. Like, so I have been a lot into psychology as well because one of my jobs needed me to write, let's say, miniature versions of psychology books for universities.
Wow.
So I had to, yeah, so I had to go through like entire volumes of psychology for university, that university students study. And I knew what I needed to do. and I have been meditating since 2011. I went back into it. I went back into my Reiki practice. And all of that helped me ground myself, center myself back into that place where that fog was lifted. I understood that I need to sleep no matter what. And yeah, you do some of those things like uh, homemade stuff. Put cucumbers on your eyes and just do some that 3, 4, 5 kind of a breathing exercise or something that puts you to sleep. Non-medicinal ways of getting back into sleep schedule, getting back into the circadian rhythm, and but it was not easy at all. I'm talking like, well, as if it
नहीं
was,
नहीं, इट्स नॉट इजी,
it
आई
was
नो आई
not.
नो।
Yeah,
बट ऐसा कभी होता है आपके साथ, जैसे मेरे साथ बहुत बार हुआ, लास्ट ईयर स्पेशली व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड टेकिंग थेरेपी, आई वांटेड टू क्विट इट ऑल। मुझे सब कुछ छोड़ देना था, आई जस्ट वांटेड टू लीव एवरीथिंग एंड आई जस्ट वांटेड टू बी, आई डिडंट
yeah,
नो व्हाई वेयर आई वांटेड टू बी आल्सो, मुझे नहीं पता था। बट बिकॉज ऐसे निधि ने मुझे समझाया कि एक आइडेंटिटी बन चुकी है मेरी, कि आई वांट टू वर्क, एक
yeah.
आइडेंटिटी है मेरी कि मुझे काम करना ही है। और इन स्पाइट ऑफ नो प्रेशर बट आई वांट टू, वो एक आइडेंटिटी बन चुकी है। तो मैं वो छोड़ भी नहीं पा रही थी। आपके साथ ऐसा हुआ कि यू जस्ट वांटेड टू क्विट इट ऑल एंड जस्ट डू नथिंग?
Yes, it did happen. It did happen, but much later. And in fact, after I moved to the Netherlands, that's the time it happened. Because things were so difficult after moving to a new country. And where the language is, I don't know the language, things are very different here. तो उस टाइम पे ऐसा हुआ था कि I was like done with, you know, figuring things out. I'm the person that सबको ये आके बोलते हैं because they know कि I'm the person who will solve it, who will figure it out. I was like, no, I can't. And in fact, I don't want to. Okay. I will go somewhere and I will sit in meditation all the time. I'll disconnect from the world and I'll do nothing. Okay. And maybe I'll have my own garden vegetables. And मतलब उसमें भी मेरी प्लानिंग चल रही थी कि खाना खाने के लिए तो मुझे कुछ उगाना पड़ेगा ना। उसमें भी थी। तो वो भी चल रहा है मेरा। एंड माय हस्बैंड सेड तुम जाओगी कहाँ, तुमने कुछ सोचा है, तुम जाना है तुम जाओ, मैं आई विल हेल्प यू एंड एवरीथिंग। एंड ही इज अ वेरी सपोर्टिव हस्बैंड, ओके। एंड आई वाज लाइक नो, आई डोंट नो, आई डोंट नो वेयर आई वांट टू गो, but I don't want to deal with this anymore. So Madhur, I understand 100%. I have been in that place where I was like, ना मुझे काम करना है, ना मुझे घर संभालना है, ना कुछ। मैं बस I just want to be by myself and just look after myself, breathe, open air, listen to birds chirping, lie on the grass. That will be my life. So yeah.
व्हाई डू यू थिंक women डू सो मच यार? आई मीन क्यों अपने आप को इतनी तकलीफ दे के uh, करते हैं ये सब? आई डोंट नो द आंसर, डू यू नो द आंसर? क्यों करते हैं अपन इतना? क्यों अपना हेल्थीली, हेल्थ वाइज, मेंटल वाइज, क्यों हम अपने आप को इतना तंग कर रहे हैं? व्हाई डू यू थिंक सो?
Hmm. It is basically, I tell you, okay, this is like a major conversation. So, um, we don't need to actually. Of course, we don't need to push ourselves,
या
definitely. We do it because of societal conditioning, okay? कि we have to be not कि हमें घर का काम करना है, the fact that हमें बेहतर बनना है किसी और से, हमें अच्छा दिखना है किसी और के सामने, we have to be a good wife, the good mom, the good bahu. We want that tag, okay? Because of which we push ourselves more. People can instigate us, but they cannot push us if we say no. Okay. So this is one thing that I really try to make people understand. Women. Okay. Recently I one of my posts went viral on X where I had spoken about that movie. Um the new movie where She was
Mrs.
working a
Mrs.
lot.
Mrs.
Mrs. Yeah, Mrs. Yeah. So I said, 10 minutes into the movie, I could not watch it because she was being too, very soft and this thing. I got a lot of hate for that. A lot of hate. The reason, because, it was not a blog post, it was a tweet. I couldn't let people know why I said that. Very important for women to understand. You cannot step out of your miseries by being a victim ever. Any movie or anything, just tell me one thing. When we watched something like Mrs., the society was divided, there was pain felt, there was so much anger felt, right? But when we watch something like Dangal, or when we watch something like Chak De India, I'm getting goosebumps. Every time I say think of these movies, I feel the kind of power we women have and what we can achieve if we want, even in a field when it comes to men mostly. That is my problem with movies like Mrs. Fine. You are saying that this is a problem in the society. What did you do about it? Okay, I did not watch the full movie, but I was told that she left. Okay, good for her. But the thing is, if you really want to make a difference, show strength. Tell women that they are not supposed to even think of themselves as victims at any point of time because nobody is. We always have a choice. We have a choice. Our in laws, they don't have that choice. They can't make that choice for us. If they say, you have to do this, and you say no, okay? You say no, I won't. What will happen? Now, people told me they get beaten. This police station, you can go report. The problem is, most women who are actually going through that kind of pain, they never report. Even when their children go to the police station and report, and the the inspector will say, we cannot do anything till your own mother comes here and signs this. They won't go. So that is what I really try to tell people, that it is the society that has taught us to push ourselves, but it is us who always want that tag and we keep working towards it. बन जाओ बुरा, मत करो काम. नहीं बनना मुझे बेस्ट मॉम. मुझे गुड मॉम बनने से मैं ठीक है, मैं माय चाइल्ड इज फेड, ही इज bathed, he knows his ABCs, his spellings. Good enough. टॉपर नहीं भी बनेगा चलेगा मुझे. खुश होना चाहिए मेरा बच्चा, मैं खुश रहूंगी. How many of us are okay with that definition? No, because we are so competitive.
But is
We
it
are doing
because
it to ourselves.
we want to compete with the men and we want to be better than them, that's why, or we want to be better than us ourselves?
That is the change in mindset we need to bring, that we want to be better within, like, I should be a better person tomorrow than I am today. The competition should be with myself, not with my friend, not with my husband, not with men in the world or women in the world. The only person I need to compete is with myself. Because यार हाथों की 5 उंगलियां भी सेम नहीं होती. हाउ कैन वी compete with each other? We'll never win that race. We are, इसीलिए हम और डिप्रेस्ड हो जाते हैं और फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हो जाते हैं, बिकॉज भगवान ने सबको डिफरेंट बनाया है, बट भगवान ने तुमको एक बनाया है. तो तुम खुद को देखो, खुद से compete करते रहो, and the immense amount of joy you will find every moment. Simple things that I do, for example, loading my dishwasher, for example, okay, I use a stopwatch for it, okay, and every day I try to beat my own record without breaking the dishes. कि आज मैंने इतनी जल्दी कर लिया, इतनी efficiently कर लिया. And every moment I gamify, और and it gives you little joys, कि last time मैंने 8 मिनट में किया था, आज मैंने 5 मिनट में कर लिया, kind of a thing. And that makes you happy, right? It's like a dopamine.
Wow.
So
So finding
yeah,
little joys in life is better than always thinking about winning a medal or getting the tag of a best anything.
yeah, according to me.
नहीं, I think
I mean,
it's right. Tell me, आप बोले आप you're now in Netherlands. How are you managing it? It's absolutely unimaginable कि you're managing your kid, you're managing your work, you're managing your house, you're cooking also, I believe. And I
yeah,
think आपके और भी बहुत passions है. You're a linguist, you are a tarot card reader,
yeah.
you love I think आपको गार्डनिंग का भी
Gardening.
बहुत शौक है. तो आप मैनेज कैसे कर रहे हो यार ये सब सारी चीजें? How are you doing it?
Um, I I I don't know. Okay, so I don't know.
You're taking one day at a
Uh,
time. ये मेरा मंत्र है. Take one day at a time.
yeah, yeah. One thing that I do is uh, जब जो मन करे. The one of the biggest problems I had, like I told you, was I was a control freak, which also gets you to major mental breakdowns sooner or later, which happened to me. And then I learned go with the flow, which is the mantra of the universe. कि live in that flow. ठीक है? And there are two things. One is the ego, the other is the intuition. Okay? The moment you step into your intuition, you know exactly कि इस moment में ये करने से मुझे सबसे ज्यादा खुशी प्राप्ति होगी. Okay? I live in that moment. Okay? So अगर मुझे लगा कि मुझे अभी ये प्लांट करना है, मैं उसी टाइम जाके तब प्लांट करके आऊंगी.
Wow. Wow.
Okay? Yeah. And it is just like that. I live in that phase. Apart from my work time for DigiWitch or Mind Your Business, the rest of the day I go through it. And yes, special credit to my husband. We split work and we help each other out with the household because houses here are like houses and you need to like take care of it. So he does help me.
Wow. I think I got some really good tips from you कि जब जो मन करे वो करो. वाह यार. मैंने तो ना अपनी लाइफ को बहुत कंपार्टमेंटलाइज कर दिया था कि नहीं अभी अगर ये काम करना है तो करना ही है. हाँ, लेकिन आई थिंक ये चीज बहुत सही है कि अगर जो मन करे वो करो. अभी अगर मूवी
Mm.
देखने का मन है तो मूवी देखो यार.
Exactly. Because your body is telling you, your intuition is tapping into your body. तो मतलब उसको लग रहा होगा कि तुम्हारा स्ट्रेस लेवल बढ़ा हुआ है. Right now maybe you want to even drinking water, for example, the thirst we feel, all of this your body tells you, your mind tells you कि अभी एक मूवी देख लो, टू स्ट्रेस्ड, अभी दूसरे काम पे मत जाओ. बट नहीं, हमें तो प्रोडक्टिव बनना है.
वो सैलरी चाहिए.
Hmm.
Anyways, thank you so much, Proma. I think it was a lovely, lovely, lovely discussion. Thank you so much for doing this. And I hope the women out there take some cues from you and try and sort out their life. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Thank you.